Good afternoon. This is Susan, and this is Susan's Ramblings. I have a few things to discuss today. Mainly, it's the shortages that we're facing. I watch a lot of YouTubes, of course, when they tell us what is supposedly going to disappear within this winter. And if they had their choice, everything would disappear, according to them. Yes, I know we have food supply chain problems. And yes, I know inflation is taking a great amount of our money away from here. Um, and I know it's harder for families to get enough food for their food to feed them. They say we're in a recession. If you're lucky and you get a government official to say that, I don't know why they won't say it. I guess they may be afraid to scare us. But they're scaring us more by not saying anything, and really I think this is their plan. I don't think we're in a recession anymore. I think we're actually in a depression. I think we're going back to what we were in the 1930s. And you know that depression lasts over 10 years. Started in 1929 with the stock market crash, and it continued until World War II. And when World War II came, the factories um, all I don't know, began to make war supplies, and they began to make money. They weren't making money otherwise, because people couldn't afford to give it. But with the war, they were making money. And that's the case with any problem. If you have a war, they are making money. That's why we have so many wars around, I think. That's in my opinion. But anyway, let's forget about that. Depression. We're in a depression. That's my opinion. You don't have to agree with me. But we have these shortages all the time, and some of them you can't do much about. Um, yes, you can stock up, and you can stack it all to the rafters, but eventually that food is going to run out, even if there isn't. And there are more and more shelves empty in the store. But like I was told the other day, just because it isn't there today doesn't mean it won't be there tomorrow. So that really doesn't help us at all. The problem is they're doing the same thing. They're making the same process of foods, but they're packaging them into smaller packages. They have the same package. They have the same brand. They have the same everything, except they are smaller. Instead of 16 ounces, they're 14 ounces, and that's much higher price. Or they take them off the shelf, and they leave them off the shelf for a while. And then when they come back, the price has gone up dramatically. Don't tell me there's not some greed there. There is. We're not making the money. Somebody's making the money. Don't let them fool you. They're making more money than they ever have. That's why the CEOs are getting millions of dollars in salaries. And that's why the companies are making um, are making good profits during this time. So anyway, here's my list of things that will probably be in short supply. We don't know what you can do about them, but except to stock them up. I do have some ideas. I will give them to you. Number one is beef. We all know that the farmers are not able to keep their beef animals. They called them all a couple of years ago, and prices were supposed to come down then, but guess what? They didn't. They called them because they didn't have the fertilizer because of the war over in Europe. They called them because didn't have the grains to feed them. And regardless of what you say, all those grains that are growing are for cows, but there's not enough of it because of the drought. Also, one thing you can do with the babies, buy when it's on sale, if it's on sale. Even if it's at a higher price, buy it and preserve it. I prefer to can it than freeze it. I will freeze a little bit, but eventually your freezers are going to get full and you're going to have to do something else with them anyway. So, I preserve it, I can it. Learn to can, people. That's one of the best things you can do. And yes, you can get these big canners. In my case, I can't do it because they're too heavy for me with my arthritis and so forth. So I found a little electric canner, and it works fine. No, I can't do the quart jars in it. I do the pint jars in it, but that's enough for one person. Of course, if you have a family, you are better off by ordering the big pressure cookers. They're safe to use. All you have to do is follow directions. If you follow the directions, you can preserve your food and still be safe. Another idea for beef is to go together with neighbors or friends and find a farmer or find a butcher that will let you buy a whole beef. And this way, and then you divide it up when you have it. This way everybody pays a little bit, everybody gets a little bit, and you don't feel like you're suffering. Beef is number one. Number two is basically about the same thing, dairy. That includes your milk, your cheeses, the milk and cheeses, basically. Milk. How do you preserve milk? I guess it can be frozen, but there again, how much milk can you freeze? Another solution to me would be the shelf-stable milk. It's all over the place now. Dollar Tree has them for $1.25 for a quart. Stock up on them. It's got the whole milk. It's got every percentage you want. And yes, you can use that milk for cooking. And I even use it for making cheese. Even though they tell me I can't do it. You know what? It can be done. So don't be afraid to not buy that. Make sure you get the shelf-stable milk. I have put a lot of it away. There again with the expiration date. I have milk given to me in my senior boxes. And I have had some go with it over almost 2 years expiration date. I wasn't watching the dates that close. I am now, but I wasn't then. But the milk was still good. It wasn't sour. And I used it, and I put it in the refrigerator. My mouth isn't working. In the refrigerator, and guess what? It was still good. So, don't throw it away just because it's past the expiration date. In fact, it's not an expiration date, it's a best buy date. I think it's a date that they just put on there to get you to buy more. You throw the food away and buy more. Don't fall for that, okay? Cheeses. Oh, and another thing for milk. My powdered milk. Yes, it's expensive. But when you look at the cost of milk itself, it's not that expensive. And it can be stored in Milo bags. In fact, it comes in a Milo bag. The milk I get comes in a Milo bag. And it can be used, I've seen videos where you can use it to make butter. I've never tried it. That's probably on my list sometime this month. But anyway, you can also use that milk for drinking. If it's cold, make sure it's cold. And add a teaspoon of vanilla or a teaspoon of almond. And it will up the flavor. It won't be like powdered milk. You can use it for baking. Use it for cooking. All you have to do is add your powder that you need, add water to it, and you throw it in your recipe. Easy, easy, easy. You got evaporated milk too. You know, that's more expensive, yes, but it's available. And you can use 1 can of evaporated milk plus 1 can of water and you equal whole milk. Something to think about. Okay? You can make cheese with that milk too. And that would be another thing. You can make almost all kinds of cheeses. Some of them are simple, some of them are a little more complicated. But it can be done with milk. So don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Use your mind and think out of the box. The next thing is eggs. Yeah, eggs. That's because of the so-called flu that went around. And if there was one or two, they went in and checked the flocks of chicken. And if there was one or two that had the flu, you know what? They destroyed the whole flock. Makes lots of sense, doesn't it? Of course, when does government do anything that makes sense? Anyway, we had a shortage of eggs. Well, not a shortage. The prices went up so high that nobody would buy them. And all of a sudden, the prices dropped to less than they were before. Anyway, eggs. I was caught out there with eggs. Not next time. They say they're going up in prices again because of chickens. And we have one company closing down their chicken plants. That not only means that the eggs will be disappearing, that also means chicken meat will be disappearing. So stock up, people. Go canned chicken. Or instead of your chicken breast, buy chicken thighs. They're juicier. And to me, they taste better. And they give you more value for your money. In fact, you can get chicken thighs around my area for 99 cents a pound when they're on sale. Make sure they stock up on them. And then can them. Okay? Or I boil them, get all the fat off them, and I shred them, and I put them in a dehydrator. There again, your dehydrator is one of the best bargains you can have. If you don't have one, I strongly urge you to get one. They are remarkable. They will dry your food, and the food will take less space, and you will have more food in a simple time. I dehydrate everything except eggs and cheese. Milk, I won't touch that. Or any dairy products, I won't touch any of that, but everything else is fair game to me. Okay, so you need eggs. Stack up on the powdered eggs. They used to be a staple in the home. In fact, during World War II, those are basically the only eggs they had. Canned eggs. And as late as the 1980s, my mother could get canned eggs with commodities. And you use them like any other egg. And you won't know the difference. Or beat your eggs. Put them in a silicone muffin paper, whatever you call it, cup, silicone cup. And freeze them, take them out, put them in a Ziploc bag. Always, always buy extra eggs and do something with them. You can even make scrambled eggs. Scrambled cooked eggs. And put them in burritos, or put them in breakfast sandwiches. And save eggs that way. I have a couple recipes where I put eggs in muffin tins and bake them. One is just all the vegetables that I have available. I just throw them all in my eggs. Divide the eggs up into muffin cups and bake them. The other one is I take bacon, chips bacon, wrap it around the baking cup, and throw my eggs on top and bake it. Of course, you can take eggs, plain old eggs, and bake them. and a muffin too. Do all kinds of things with eggs. Don't be caught out without eggs this time. Coffee. I know most of that of you can't do without coffee. Do you know you can buy instant coffee and it will be cheaper in the long run than the ground coffee, and it lasts forever if you don't open the bag, jar. You can use this coffee to make anything. I don't know how many of you go to Starbucks. I don't even have a Starbucks within 50 miles of me, and I definitely don't stop at one. Oop, I take that back. We have a shop uptown that gives us Starbucks like drinks, and I've never bought one of them either. The reason? They're expensive. Why should I spend $5 to $6 on a cup of coffee? That's what you're doing, people. $35 to $6, count up. In fact, you take two of them. That's $10, $12. And you can buy the coffee or the instant coffee, and you can make all the drinks you want at home. I have many recipes where I use instant coffee to make specialized drinks. Maybe I should run that series again. My favorite is with instant coffee and butterscotch pudding. It makes carrot and creamer, and it makes kind of a cappuccino. It's delicious, and it's different than anything else. You can add milk to your coffee, and then just use a plain old egg beater and make it all fluffy. Didn't know that, did you? And it will cost a lot less than a Starbucks drink. The same thing goes for tea. Tea is also going to be supposedly in short supply. I like iced tea. I use a lot of iced tea, in the summer especially. But I make my own. And no, I don't buy the instant tea. When I say I make my own, I make my own. I boil water. I put my tea bags in it. I let it steep. Then I put it in the refrigerator and let it get cold. The way I should say, I leave it at room temperature first until it cools down. Then I add juice to it. All kinds of juice. I've added pineapple juice to it. I've added lemon juice to it. I've added orange juice to it. I've even added raspberry juice to it. You know, you can make all those fruit juices, and you can use all those juices in your tea. Simple, inexpensive, and it doesn't cost $5 to $6 a drink. But some of them. Okay, I think we're going to have to leave this for today. Those are some of the things that are happening, and some of the ways I am trying to prepare for. Have a great day, and God bless.